Game on, everybody! And no, we are actually not currently looking at a 2-0. It's game number 1 in the best of 5 series. So after we now adjusted the overlay, we can head straight into the first game of this particular best of 5. We are still looking at the Masters Clash right now, and this is the second semi-final. Another best of 5 series with the Vikings going up against Laubers Fanclub. And it should be a spicy one. A pretty solid series here. We are in the old Blizzard UI, since this was still played 1 or 2 days before the recent patch hit. So let's see what exactly the teams can actually pull off here. Skog on Malfurion for the Vikings. We have Burger on Mal'Ganis. We have, aka Backhold, Maka on Tracer. Gia on Liming, Max Passion on Chen, and on the other side in red, Henning on Anna, Lauber on Diablo, Svamgrotta on Jaina, Kopenhagen on Leoric, and somehow the chicken made it through the draft and is played by Tai. And no, for once I'm actually not talking about Falstad here, but instead about Deathwing. And you can tell me whatever you want, but this looks like a chicken. I mean, seriously. This looks like a plucked chicken. So every single time I see that thing, I'm just like, oh my god, KFC is a happy panda right now. Okay, so let's see actually what's gonna happen with Deathwing finally in a European game. So far that hero has of course been banned out heavily on the European side in pretty much every single game. I think ever since Deathwing got released, even after the initial nerfs that the hero received, we've only seen Deathwing make it through the draft twice. And at least one of those games, if not both, were a little bit more memey and more so meme games than anything else. But with Towers of Doom being our first map here, Deathwing has entered the arena. And we're gonna find out how much Tai can actually pull off here. Traditional build for him, for now at least. Pretty much what we've seen from Deathwing also to a huge extent over North America, where the hero is being played a lot more. People don't really respect him all that much, and therefore Deathwing makes it through the draft quite a lot. Has also to do with the fact that North America has this huge boner for Cho'Gall, and therefore that's where most of those initial bans and also a couple of early on picks usually go for. And that of course impacts a little bit the priorities that you have with other heroes. But as we're heading into this, we have a bit of a fight over the camps, so with the camps like trying to push them in right now. No big deal just yet. Lockdown against Lauber. And our burger boy over here needs to be a bit careful. So in case that you guys were actually asking yourself, hey, why is Backhold all of a sudden called Burger? And why we're talking about Lauber as the burger boy. It's actually pretty easy. Lauber worked as a burger boy at McDonald's for a long time before he focused more onto Heroes of the Storm. That was of course during the HGC time still. And also one of the sub-icons in his Twitch channel. And another thing is, was therefore a burger, and that's why the memes are definitely going strong here, and of course the banter is real. If you thought that B-stepping is one way of taunting an opponent, then try renaming your account to taunt them a little bit. So yeah, the boys obviously know each other quite well, and therefore a lot of memes, a lot of banter, and a lot of funning around. Level 4 talents are so far ready, and currently we have not really a big lead for anybody. We don't even have a single kill yet in this game. We have by now dominance on the side of Li Ming. Gia currently playing around that. Deathwing is taken to the skies as we have the first triple altar phase happening. And that's of course a huge advantage that you now also can just like drop into a fight with Deathwing. Mako and Tracer definitely has to be respected. That's something where the red team needs to be careful. The Fanclub, obviously the favorite. The Vikings had a very good run just recently and had some fantastic games against the Fanclub in particular. But, oh, the first blood as Malfurion gets wrecked. Nicely done here. First kill against the blue team. And off we go. Deathwing is trying for the channel as the top left and the top right have already been eliminated here. Another setup by Deathwing, trying to get a stun connected. Not working here, but they're attempting to lock down Mal'Ganis. Didn't quite work out. They body blocked a bit to dish out extra damage, but they could not secure a second kill here. We still have our solo laners rotating between top and mid lane, Leo and Chen. And now with Henning getting the channels through, the lead goes to the red team. The Fanclub with 36 points against 32 after the first objective phase. Bit of aggression in the middle of the map, but Copenhagen has to be careful and just barely dodges out. Maka rotating in with Tracer did quite a bit of work here. And at this point, Let's have a bit of a look at what exactly the team in red can pull off with that sliver of momentum that's just built for themselves. So currently 32 against 36 as mentioned. Level 7 talents are now ready for both players. Skyfall is therefore in for Deathwing. The standard build that we're seeing on the hero. Dragon Soul into Heatwave, and then afterwards Skyfall being chosen. We have also on level 7 Calamity for Li Ming. Traditional build on her side as well. Level 4 of course is a bit more adjustable, where you oftentimes see Drum for it, but not so in this game. And as they're making the play, again at the bottom of the map, we see the blue team trying to fire back as Mal'Ganis and Diablo are both trying to get someone into an awkward position to allow the rest of the damage dealers to take aim and take them down. But outside of that one single kill against Malfurion early on, we haven't really seen anything yet. Deathwing, on the other hand, gets eliminated. Nice play by Tracer. Really well done. Connects the bomb, and Deathwing gets wrecked. Dibbles now, for maybe a second also in trouble. Gets locked down by Malfurion with a nice root. And that, of course, made it easy for Gia to connect some damage here. Deathwing can jump back in once that we have the altars activating. Death timers are still fairly low, and both teams are aiming for level 10 at this point. Down to the bottom of the map now, Lauber, Henning and Svampgrotta trying to shield the shrine, and they're actually making a play for Mal'Ganis. It's not going to result in a kill, but if they get a good amount of damage onto him, it's definitely going to be a great start into the fight itself, because that is going to happen. Deathwing comes in, up here, Copenhagen interrupts Macke. The chicken is back to business, come back to roost, and they're going for the kill against Mal'Ganis. And he goes down. Max Passion with the channel. They lost the hero, but they win the altar. Of course, after the 4 shots get fired against the red team's core, the red team themselves get the altar at the bottom of the map, an even exchange. And now we have both again roughly on the same numbers here. Level 10 any second for both teams. And that's when the real spicy part of the game begins. Nice attempt for Macke. Oh my god! Even with the Molten Flame, we don't see him fall. Had a few hit points left. That's one of those moments when you're quite unhappy that we have to use the old Blizzard UI for this one and can't use our custom UI in older replays, because then we could have known exactly how many hit points he has. Still a shame that Blizzard never actually improved on their own UI. It's not really a bad idea in the UI that they have. Could already be improved massively if they just would make the bottom panel when it's displayed a little bit smaller. Generally speaking, very suboptimal UI, and once again third-party programmers just do a better job than the small indie company themselves. With level 10 abilities, we now have Apocalypse, which is obviously already kind of nice if you have a good Entomb set up, just to name one example. We see also the Deathwing coming in right away as they're trying to go for a bit of a fight. Here comes the Entomb. Where's the Apoc when you need it? A lot of people are already zoned out, and here we go. They're going for Tracer, and that's a quick kill. 3 kills against 1 now. Svampgrotta in trouble, and the Triple Panda looking for the kill, but they actually can't lock it in. Instead, it is Li Ming who's in trouble and has to move away from this. So, nice fight from the perspective of the Fanclub. They get a kill, they are able to push the opponent back. A lot of heroics get used there. Some barely escape with a few hit points left. And now they're easily moving straight in here to take another camp. Altars, of course, spawning as well. And maybe they can even put some pressure onto the bottom of the map and destroy one of those walls. That would, of course, be the next step here. The Panda is also back to business, gets controlled by the slow slightly. That thing is also still moving in, so the Panda's actually in trouble, and the nano boost on Jaina is definitely helping with it. And that should be the end of Max Passion. Max Passion is down, but there's still the chance of another kill. Entomb, not too bad actually. Entomb also designed to shield the team from the chasing heroes instead of really looking for a kill there. Ana goes down, but Li Ming gets punished for the audacity of dropping the healer. And with Copenhagen moving in, tries to connect the slow, but Backhult on Mal'Ganis gets actually pushed back by Diablo. He can still get the kill though. And here's the channel now. Copenhagen made it over to the altar. And now they have an easy way to get another 4 points subtracted off the opponent's core. 24 against 32, and the Fanclub has taken the lead in talents once again. Looking a bit at the damage output right now, Deathwing at 27,000 has taken the #1 spot in the entire game. There's a reason why the hero is consistently banned in Europe. And a very good one at that, so there's a good chance that if this game continues this way, that we are going back to the old style where in the draft the first thing that happens is that Deathwing gets banned out if you are not first pick, so we'll see. For now, we still have, with 6 kills against 2, a massive lead for the Fanclub. Well, maybe let's not call it massive. There is a lead for them for sure, and they have done better in team fights. But in experience, it's half a level of an advantage over the Vikings, and half a level is easily soaked back if you just win one team fight and drop a couple of heroes in the process. So we shouldn't probably exaggerate here. But it is a lead. It is a small advantage. It is something that might help you to grab an early 16 talent and then force a fight with your opponent at a disadvantage. So we shouldn't really undersell it here either. Tai in Copenhagen is slowly starting to rotate also a bit more towards the bottom of the map in an attempt to set something up, especially Malfurion might be in trouble. Comes in with the ult, there's the attack. Oh my god, what a hit by Li Ming, nicely done. That's the end of Jaina. Tracer needs to rush away, and that was a beautiful entomb, but Marker gets away for just a moment, but Deathwing with the double kill against Tracer and against Malfurion. That's a positive trade in kills now for the red team once more. With 8 kills against 3, they're looking great. And we talk about the double altar phase now at the top of the map. The Panda is already on the channel. Max Passion. And over to the top right we have, but at the same time, Leo now doing the same thing. So in we go. And another quick shot fired. And there's that. Bottom of the map in the meantime. Let's have a little bit of a look at that. Tai, Lauber and Henning still fairly doing their thing and stealing away another camp here. Easy peasy. Macke, of course, would love to get a little bit more into Swamp Grotto in particular, especially up to the point where we have the ice block ready for Jaina, and then it's going to be so much more difficult to connect a decent bomb and get that last hit in. But down at the bottom of the map, Tai is still doing his thing. He's currently in a fantastic position with the chicken. And they have their dear trouble dealing with all of that. I mean, you have your pseudo global. Now level 16 is also on the horizon for the Fanclub. And this is, again, only map number 1 in the best of 5 series. So since we are looking at the semi-final here right now, both teams want to move on to the grand final and go up against Washed Up, who already won their own match against Crystal Gaming just the other day. Nice dodge from Macke. It was a bit clutch, but he made it happen. Of course, the timer, the cooldown on Entomb is not really all that big, so soon it will be ready again. But that was a really good escape. If he gets caught there, that could spell trouble for him. Gia, though, eats a lot of damage from Lauber in particular. And with the wall stun here, it would have been the end of Li Ming for sure. But now it's the triple altar phase that we're looking at, and this could be a mad problem because that level 16 talent that I talked about earlier is now finally here. And with level 16, there's always the chance. They're already trying to go for the stun on the side of Diablo, who has now the reset. But, well, with 16 and him getting resets, it also means that he has some one-shot potential. Chen and Deathwing are the ones moving up towards the top, but down here it's a question of who takes the third altar again. And honestly, right now, you would assume that it's going to be the Fanclub. Fanclub is already starting to move in. There's the combo into the APOC. That one was nice. There's the drain, and that could be the end, and it is the end of Mal'Ganis. And not a single altar has been taken yet. They make the play for Malfurion, and the old geezer with the green beard is also down. This is bad news right now for the Vikings. Yes, they might lose all 3 of these altars. Henning is going for the channel. That's going to be an easy 4 points up to the top left. The interrupt against the Panda to the top right. Anna is rotating in again as everybody else is just attempting to get control over this particular one. Yeah, well, maybe not everybody, because we still have a few heroes attempting to go down to the bottom of the map to take another bell tower down. But there's 4 shots fired, and they actually let this one go at the top, which means another 4 shots fired against the red team as well. So instead they were trying to make their play for the bottom left. Not sure if it was really that worth... yeah, it's a little bit questionable. I mean, they could have gone for the top left. They could have. They definitely could have. If 2 heroes down, that's a play that you can make. But then again, they miss out on a lot of damage at the bottom of the map. And there's a lot of control that you can get with this. So gotta be cautious here. Right now, we now also have, well, another camp taken. Which means that Pumpkins alone will most likely seal the deal here for the bell tower and convert it over. Deathwing about to come in again. 38,000 by now. Make has actually overtaken the Dragon when it comes to the damage output here, sitting at 43,000 for Tracer. But the fight is still ongoing, and here comes the Triple Panda trying to move into the back lane to do a bit of damage there. Copenhagen is already down. That's the end of Leo. They're looking for more kills, and they might actually even get more. A good combo of Gia nearly connects with Ana, but oh, there we go! Deathwing down, Ana down, and now Diablo has fallen. All of a sudden, they're just brutalizing the entire team. And Svamkroda is, of course, also going to die. He's going to try for a counter kill, but he can't. And that's a full 5-man wipe. There's another couple of shots that were just fired into the core, though, thanks to the Pumpkins making it through, which now puts the Vikings down to 10 points. So they have gained momentum. They're nearly back in experience. It's 8 kills against 10, but they are very, very far behind in points on the objective. So that's a 14-point discrepancy between the two teams now. But with a little bit of momentum, you can turn that around. And if they, for example, claim now this bell tower, that would mean that the one on the left side falls eventually anyways. And I think this is pretty much where they want to go with this. But the Pumpkins alone are not going to cut it here. Now, Dibbles isn't the only one that's back. Leo is also back to business. Bottom of the map gets now channeled. At least, well, that want to. They're delaying it slightly because they're hoping to regain at least control of one bell tower before they do that. So they will get a few more shots, at least one more shot fired. And that's why Skok is now just taking the channel in. But it's 4 bell towers against 4 again. Here's the channel. And that's going to be 10 against 20 points on the core. With level 20, quicker for the Vikings. Which is kind of notable considering how the game has been going so far. So them making a comeback in experience is pretty important. Yep, and level 20 might actually allow them to get the bell tower too. So they're gonna try. They're definitely gonna aim for that. Panda upgrade, ult gets upgraded, same for Li Ming and Mal'Ganis, also for Malfurion, and all of them just getting the increase here, whereas Tracer goes for get stuff. Bell tower is down, momentum gain, control over the bot lane achieved by the Vikings. And there's the Panda time. Cut short because of the death zone. But Leo is still rotating. Leo still wants a bit of additional experience because, well, obviously he's currently looking to get the experience for them to get level 20. And there we have it. Level 20 is in. That means Winter Mute, buried alive. Actually, decent ults here. In this case, stood in the fire. Burn beneath my shadow, straight into stood in the fire. And the Nano Infusion. Panda, again, with a, I mean, so to say, self-kill. Not really, but yes, obviously. Panda down, and that means that we have another advantage for the red team, for the fan club, as they are also trying to reclaim the bottom bell tower. They found themselves in a position where they go up against an opponent that controls 4 bell towers on the map and 5 against 3 shots on those altars. Not really a trade you want to aim for, so reclaiming that is crucial. Molten Flame helps them to also burn down those pumpkins quite quickly. And that's full on even control on bell towers again, as the next objective is about to be activated. Copenhagen sitting in the middle of the map right now. And they're starting to... I mean, this could be an even trade again. But even with an even trade, if you think about it, it would put the blue team down to 6 points, which makes it difficult. Single digits is always dangerous, especially when the boss is still up. And if they lose out on this one, that would be a total disaster. I don't really think that that's going to happen, but holy hell, would that be a nightmare. Li Ming is going to try and interrupt, so is Mal'Ganis. They need to force that fight eventually. And they're already starting to look at the edges. See if there's maybe a chance somewhere to get a quick hit in. But I expect that we're going to see even trade. I mean, let's be honest here for just a second. Yeah, they're just trading. Both of them just trade out, and that's 4 shots fired against 4 on the other side. So both teams now get that in with 16 against 6 points. But single digits is dangerous. Again, you lose one team fight and you might just be done for. So they need to be careful. Very, very careful right now. If one team loses a hero because the hero gets ganked, that could be a death sentence. Now, the fan club has a bit more time to recover, thanks to them still having 16 hit points on the core. That gives you a little bit more freedom with all of that. By now we have not only Tracer, but also Li Ming way ahead of Deathwing in terms of damage. But in goes the next fight. And a nice Apocalypse. The kill against the Panda is true once more. And they're trying to make a play for the rest of the team, especially with the Buried Alive, connecting nicely. But Leo gets traded. Can they take down Mal'Ganis though? Yes, they can. And with Mal'Ganis down, the rest of the team is also in trouble. Especially Malfury, who just doesn't stand a chance. And this is now a little nightmare. Boss is up. There's still 3 heroes down for the blue team. You could go for the bell towers now, and it seems like this is what we're gonna have coming up next from the fan club. They're all starting to jump in, and that was actually pretty amazing. Yeah! The kill nearly against Svamgrotta. But he barely survives. Can't get into the range of the fort though. If that happens, then he is completely getting wrecked. But they take it. They take it easy peasy. And this is it. Nicely done. So with this, we have 5 control points against 3. 5 bell towers against 3. And if the altar spawns and gets grabbed, it would put the blue team down to 1 single point on the core. And if those pumpkins make it through, that's a whole different story. Then they have a problem on their hands, and a big one. So it is a best of 5, of course, but still, you don't want to lose out here. And oh my god, Marken, no! The stagger death against Tracer. The pumpkins just made it through. Oh, sorry, the channel made it through. 1 point on the core. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be game. With Market dead, there's just no chance. They locked down Tracer. They took the kill, and that was the crucial one. The staggered death against the second damage dealer is just too much for them to handle. Ana, oh, they're trying to fight for it, but they can't. Ana is down, but the rest of the team, blue team, do they have a chance? Look at this, the APOC, Copenhagen, Leo is down, Mal'Ganis is dead too. What a slaughter, it's not over just yet, but with Li Ming fallen, there's no damage dealers left, and this is the end of it. The Panda was trying to jump in, but he was a bit too late, and that is game. As in this best of 5 series, the fan club takes the victory on map number 1 and secures themselves the 1-0 lead in the best of 5. GG and well played. Game number 2! Yeah, Deathwing once again victorious in Europe, and you know what happens when one of the heroes that gets banned out most of the time all of a sudden gets through the draft and wins a game. He gets banned again, so ding 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 ding, Deathwing won a prize. And therefore, no Deathwing in game number 2 is the second map of the best of 5. The Vikings on the left with Gia on Hanzo, Max Passion on Rexa. We have Berghult on Garrosh, Skok on Anna, and look at that, Macke got his Mephisto. Nice. West to the right side of the map, Henning on Malfurion, Copenhagen on Chen for the fan club, Tai on Kira this time, Svamgrotta on Jaina, and Lauber on Nubarak. And off we go. Game number 2 will Skya Foundry. Rexa already sitting there together with Misha. Look at that little sniper. Look at that dirty camper right there. Already positioning himself right behind the debris and just sitting there for the camping. You know that if you're an Ana player, if you would play any kind of like first-person shooter game, you would just be that dirty sniper that just camps out the entire game on. That's why Banana is actually so good with that. He's actually an Overwatch player. Like, seriously, when he played Counter-Strike, he did nothing else but just that dirty camper plays. It's just, it's disgusting. But, well, either way, for now we have at the bottom of the map our 1 versus 1 set up with the Chen. Panda going up against Max Passion. And yeah, it's a pretty heavy animal lane here. A bit of aggression in the middle of the map in the meantime. But let's go. So, with our little setup here. Skog, oh, money pick, like it. Double money pick. Whoop, whoop. Very good. Great skin, by the way. That white War Master Panda skin thingy is just absolutely fantastic. One of the best that he actually has, in my opinion. The armor just looks fantastic. That was a great job on the skin. But now that we have the first items about to be taken, it's all about the turrets, of course, that they're currently aiming for here. And yeah, we are already looking at Copenhagen just running around on the Cloud. Cloud has been a fan favorite mount for a long time too, so at this point Copenhagen is just pandering to the audience. And yep, the heavy aggression in the middle of the map is already happening again, because both teams have a lot of heavy engage heroes that are looking for the kills here. Garrosh is looking for the flip, and Uberak is looking for the engage, and Tai is just whirling around on his Kira the entire time. Whee! Jumping around, circling heroes, and trying to get a kill in. Also fantastic skin, by the way. Maki here with the Mephisto one. I just have the feeling that nobody actually, except for Make, is really a fan of Mephisto when it comes to higher level play. Of course, when the HGC days were still ongoing, you had also players, like quite a few players that actually played a little bit of Mephisto here. Our mad scientist, for example, loved to play the hero every now and then, but right now it's only Make, so that skin fits him very well here too. Level 4 talents now for the two teams. We have the Animal Husbandry discarded, because it's all about the Hunter-Gatherer on level 4 right now for Garrosh, and has been for a long time. Especially since people started to play around Rexa a lot more resourcefully than they did in the past. So they know exactly how to deal with Misha, how to deal with Rexa, how to approach those heroes, burst them down. And you very rarely end up in a spot where Animal Husbandry is going to give you a lot of value. So it's oftentimes just way more lucrative for you to head straight into the extra armor that you gather after you get a couple of those globes connected. But now with the teams taking the camps, nobody caring about the healing beacon. We have the aggression centered more so around the mid lane, or at least the future aggression, because right now the red team is still taking a little bit easy, in the hopes of getting more experience, getting a bit closer to level 7, and then with their talent making their play there. That's pretty much the game plan. At the top side, Make, he can't really push with their own camp. That's a 3-man commitment now from the red team. So once they take all of this down, they can rotate down, and then Make has to make a choice. Either he helps the team in the middle of the map, fighting for the control point, or he takes that camp down, which is kind of priority, and that means the blue team will have to let go for a few seconds of the control point and then fight for it later. Level 7 talents were also quicker in the hands of the fan club, so that helps. But yep, here we go. Misha, one of the reasons why Rexa is so good here is because Misha can hold the point a bit longer, but there was no hesitation whatsoever as the fan club comes in and immediately starts attacking here. But okay, control has shifted. Copenhagen at the bottom is on the warpath. Little Panda is doing its thing, and yeah, well, Rexa is barely able to get anything done here without Misha, but now that we have Misha back to business, it's not impossible for Rexa to actually make a little bit of a play here. Goes already into a very aggressive stance here, and is trying to claw his way to victory. Blue team, they have to be very, very careful, and they have to be a bit cautious. I mean, especially Rexa keeps himself in the back, but bear with me here, because I think he's going to make an approach very soon. Having Misha already up to the front is helping out there. There's a lot of attacks against the Panda. And now that we're having also Copenhagen starting to jump up to the front, there's a chance for them to finally pull the plug here. It's 96 points against 86, and yes, the massive aggression as everybody is jumping straight into the fray here and attempting to take not only those items down, the turrets on the ground, but also finally getting the first kill in. Misha comes in from the side, Rexa a little bit exposed here. Misha already falling back, but looking for the second stun follow-up. And it's all about the overtime right now, but the bar goes down, and that's Beetle abuse, of course. But it seems like Garrosh might also fall. He actually gets the flip on Gian, who throws it back to safety. That was a close one. Make is in trouble, and he gets eliminated. They paid attention, they knew exactly where Mephisto was going, and therefore they get a quick kill against him, against Misha. Now they're attempting to follow it up with another kill against the frontliner. Not quite working out for them, but they get the Protector. Can't argue with those results. A kill against a kill, and now the move straight into the middle. Bam! One of those towers already down, but the rotation is of course aimed towards the top lane, where you then have the better chance to eliminate not only a second wall, but also the fountain, and therefore prepare for the next objective. Highly important here. It is a best of 5, but still, we have the lead in the series already for the fan club. And as good as the Vikings looked in games past, you have to always remember that if you fall behind with an 0-2 in a best of 5 series, it is incredibly difficult to come back into this game. For them to start a comeback there would be a bit nuts. But, of course, we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves. We're not there yet. But the first Protector had quite the impact here on the game already as is. So let's see how disciplined the fan club can play this now. Level 10 abilities are ready for both teams. Panda is already jumping out with level 10. You know, of also the final strike in. Also, on the side of Chen, no top keg plays today. Instead, it is triple Panda time. Okay, another opportunity in the middle of the map. Svamkrota is already coming in, trying to slow them down here. Yeah, they're starting to make the jump happen. Tai wants to connect, but doesn't get it. Yeah, but they're falling back for now. But it seems like the blue team is actually eager to force a fight here, and they're already aiming for the healing beacon. That is something that the fan club has to contest. They can't just sit there and say like, okay, let's just let this go. So they're starting to make the play for it. Starting to jump in, trying to go for a back hold at the front. No, not so much. But here comes the cocoon already. Gets burned down by Market. The fight is on, and it's all about the healing beacon. Jaina is dead. Yep, Little Miss Frosty melted away in the fight, and now we have a Nubarak also taken down. The Panda is on the run, and the healing beacon has been claimed by Macke. Nice, well played. That's exactly the kind of plays that they need in order to come back into this second map, and that's exactly what they do here. They were able to not only get those kills, but they got the item, and with the momentum, they can straight up jump in and say, well, you know what? We like items, let's go for that tower as well. Turrets are awesome. We like those, and then we can ride the money pick to victory. Shit a couple of the balloons on the ground while we're at it. And for the fan club, this is of course a bit of a setback. They gotta be cautious now. It's not too late just yet to come back into it and get ready for the top objective, but they're now behind in experience, and the more important part is they are massively behind in items. It is honestly mind-blowing when you look at lower league play, when we're looking at the amateur scene for example, how often items are pretty much disregarded on these maps, or when picked up, not even used in the team fights. Like, people just forget about them. But when you look at the competitive scene, items are everything. You have a lead, you go for the items, and you really just try to use them during the next fight. One of the things, for example, that I also see a lot when we cast Division 6 or 7 is that people fight for the control point, and when the control point is just counting up the first 3 seconds, they just drop 3 turrets over there. Which is obviously just a waste of items. You really want to hold those until the final fight breaks out. And that's usually not the case before we have one team sitting nearly at 99%. So dropping the items too early is negating all the work that you've done beforehand in order to get them. Nice trap here! Baited, baby! Max Passion gets wrecked. And Misha gets also eliminated, so that was a nice one. That was a fantastic trap here. This is nearly Chinese Bushmash level that we just had. Nice. 3 kills against 2. That was a fantastic little move. That's actually experience lost here. That's all going down the drain now. Unless someone rotates, and it doesn't really look like it. Garrosh is sitting at the side. Tai is like, hey, get the fuck away from my checkpoint. And they're actually trying to get the kill here. And Berghult, wow. He eats a ton of damage. Tai was hoping for a kill, but could not quite zoom this one in. No. Good attempt, though. And again, cooldown is low. It's not really like this is a big cooldown by any means, so they are very likely going to have another chance at using that in the team fight here. This was an early drop, and it was a successful one in that regard. 3 kills against 2, and, well, it's time to fight for lane control again, as that camp is still in play. Tai is already sitting at the side here with a happy cloud. So far he can be happy. Let's see, can Kira make the move now? Off we go. Panda's also joining in. Okay. There's also the next item. Some team could slide in for this one. And Nubarak in a bit of trouble for just a moment. There's the cocoon against Mephisto. Misha about to be taken down, and they're jumping into the back here. There's the kill against Anna. The triple Panda with the action. And there comes Kira, trying to go straight in for second kill. They drop Garrosh, and Tai is trying to make the next play for Wakanda, baby. Down goes Hanzo. They get the man with the mask as well. Now we will never be able to ask him, warum ist da eigentlich Stroh in der Ecke? And at the same time, with all those kills, they have now control over the point once more. And of course, as I said before, the one thing that they do immediately is focus on items. Said it before and say it again. If you have an advantage, if you take a couple of heroes down, go for item control and make sure that for the next objective you find yourself in an advantageous position. Just a little bit better equipped than your opponent. So, over here, there we already go. There's another camp that they could take, but instead they actually smell an opportunity to go for the fort in the middle of the map. And guys, look at the minimap. 2 forts pretty much down. Even if this holds for another couple of seconds, it doesn't really matter. The Protector can just go for a drive-by here and take that apart. But with the level 16 talent that they pretty much hold, they could go for keep. Now, it looks like they're going to go for the bottom of the map and drop the third fort and then prepare for objective number 3. But they could go for keep here if they wanted. With that, such a massive lead, it's pretty incredible. So the position that we see the fan club in now is just fantastic. They're in a great spot. Has the hit against the fort, our little drive-by or walk-by, as I already mentioned earlier. And yep, off we go. So it is time for a bit of Gundam action. As we see the Protector starting to go in. The defense is there, but all that you need to do here to set yourself up for the next objective is drop that fountain. And they're gonna do way more than that. Yeah, that's solid damage on that fort. Already as is, they are murdering that thing. 23,000 damage on Jaina, by the way. 29,000 damage on Hanzo. Doesn't matter if you can't get those kills connected. Mephisto still soaks the lanes a little bit as all of this is happening, but with every single fort being eliminated, the fan club is massively ahead. At least we have level 16 talents. Level 16 talents are there. Quest talents mostly being completed. The only difference here is the Hunter-Gatherer on level 17. And I gotta rant about it a little bit. Just imagine how good this UI could theoretically be if they would just cut down this talent panel here to half the size. Maybe make it about as big as on the other overlay that we use. That little adjustment, but nope, that's already too much to ask for when you talk about Blizzard. But you gotta have some, you gotta understand this. It's a small indie company, they have limited resources, so you can't expect too much. Instead, let's just drop a couple of balance changes nobody asked for it. But also, talking about dropping things, Ana gets dropped, Anubarak gets dropped, Malfurion gets dropped, it's a bloodbath. As we have kill after kill coming in, and the red team finds themselves on the retreat all of a sudden after taking the second objective. 2 objectives, 1 for them, and still starting to lose out in those fights afterwards, which keeps the blue team in play on the experience side. But they're so far behind in structures. They're so incredibly behind in structures right now. It's a problem. It's a big problem. So with Marke top side, they could also take that camp soonish. Soon TM. And the rest of the team moves now down to the bot lane. Yeah, again, you kind of want to have level 20, but the gap between the two teams is not big enough for one team to make a big leap here. Instead, it's going to be about a team fight again, and about items. And when it comes to items, there's a turret in the hands of Tai as is. We have another one already about to be taken. And that leaves us with a healing beacon at the top. But since they have already more turrets than the opponent, they can always try and exchange that. Which is pretty much what they're trying to do here. They move all the way up to the top, trying to go for that exchange. Backhul is sniffing that out, but he can't really do anything about it without the rest of the team, so it's just buying them a little bit of time. And everybody is just trying to test out, okay, how deep can we go here? Is the opponent moving away? Is someone dealing with the bot lane, for example? Which is the case. Max Passion is the one that rotates in to take the experience and ensure that the catapult doesn't do too much damage. But up at the top, that's the opportunity taken right away by the team in red to go for the last item on the map. And try and make a play then. That forces Rexa, of course, topside again. And the pings at the bottom of the map are just continuous. With 2 catapults, someone has to deal with this. And it's Rexa again that makes the move down to the bottom of the map. So the Vikings are already signaling that in the worst case scenario, they're willing to give up the healing beacon just to save that bot lane. Misha is rushing up to the top again. Fight is about to start. They're trying to make the play for Garrosh. He attempted to steal it away, couldn't get it. There's the healing beacon. The taunt, the setup, and here come the ults. Everybody going straight in for the R button. Ice block saving Jaina from the worst though. And they try to get the kill against Hanzo. The water elemental. Oh, nearly gets the kill. But instead it's Macke on Mephisto and also Garrosh that fall. And it doesn't stop there. They go straight in for Ana with another stun from Anubarak, followed up by the roots as Malfurion lays down the lawn. and now with level 20 in their hands, it's a fantastic position for their fan club. They can go straight down to the bottom of the map to already work on the keep, while the Panda makes it towards the objective to already prepare objective number 3. Great position now for the fan club. Fantastic position, honestly. They won the first map. Now they are looking extremely good on map number 2. They are 10... Well, they're massively ahead with the talent, and they are also on 10 kills against 5. And with them eliminating that keep before the objective is even close to being grabbed, this is an open shot at the core. So I honestly think that no matter what happens, the blue team is going to decide to just go for a YOLO move. They're going to try level 20 or no level 20. They're going to try and fight this. They have to. And they might just have enough time to get themselves those Storm talents after all. I mean, they're trying, obviously. If they take down all of this here in the middle, that would be a good spot. Up to the top, Hanzo needs to be careful. They have lost vision, of course, so they don't know where the red team is, which makes them a bit more careful, which they should be. But it actually seems like they're just trying to defend with level 20 talents. That's a bit of a ballsy choice, honestly. I expected them to YOLO in for it. But we are 17 minutes in. The Protector should hurt. You can defend against this. There were times when the Protectors were so strong that you would have not had a chance there at all. Third Protector usually ended the game. But now we've seen a lot of fourth Protectors coming in, sometimes even a fifth. So now the opportunity again for the Vikings to maybe force this back. And they have their level 20 talent, so that's at least something. But the Protector is already starting to make a move. And the Panda is falling low a little bit, but they're locking down Mephisto. What a save by Garrosh. Nicely done, but it's not over yet. Garrosh himself was also in trouble. Oh, the arrow straight between the eyes. Nuburak is dead, and so is the Panda. And all of a sudden, it looks like a successful defense for the Vikings. They make it happen. Nice. And that's a taunt, and that's a kill as Jaina bites the dust too. Malfurion follows. Guys, they're going for the full 5-man wipe. Yeah, the stun connects with Kira. And that's the end of her too. 5-man wipe, baby. They take them down completely. And a lone Protector is sitting at the other side of the map. But of course, the aggression from the blue team is now heading down to the bottom of the map. And they are going to crush through this. They're not only going to take that fort, they're going to go now for the keep too. And that is going to become nasty. Because, well, with keeps down on both sides, it means you win one more team fight and you can go for the core. In this case, they can't make both happen. They won't be able to get more than the keep, as you can obviously already tell. Nuburak is going to be back in a second, Shen in another 2. So there's just no way for them to actually make a core play. But they don't have to. It's 10 kills against 11 now. Both teams are on level 21. And it is dead even. So it's all about them trying to make the play for objective number 4 from here on out. Damage output, 50,000 from Hanzo. He's actually the one that got that fantastic arrow connected with Nuburak earlier for the kill. 45,000 for Jaina. And on item side, there's not a lot. There's really not a lot that can be taken right now. So they're all moving up to the top in an attempt to go for the healing beacon again. But the red team is willing to fight for this, as they dominated so hard the entire time. And now after they just lost that big fight at the bottom of the map, they now are realizing that they could actually lose this game. It's coming down to a team fight. They were 5 kills ahead. They had pretty much, like, you have to think this through for just a second. The fan club was 5 kills ahead, and they were also in a position where they actually destroyed every single fort plus a keep on the opponent's side, while they themselves hadn't lost a single fort yet. Not even a wall. And then they get completely wiped in the attempt to go for core, and all of a sudden they are in danger of losing the game. And oh my god, and Nuburak is dead. Lauber is eliminated. They're trying for the counter kill against Garrosh, but if they can't get that, then they are in so deep trouble. The kill attempt against Malfurion, and they finally drop him. 2 down, and it's going just straight up for another kill on Chen, and they're chasing down the rest of the team too. Unbe-fucking-lievable. At the top lane, the camp is doing a bit of pressure, but that's not going to be enough. Whee! As good old Kira is trying to make a play, but Tai is now also dead. Jaina is now going for the only move that she has, aka she's backdooring. Top lane, there's a camp that does a bit of work, but it seems like we're really looking at a win for the blue team. It's unbelievable, like seriously. They make it to the core. They won the fights that really mattered. Nano boosted Mephisto for the win here. And if you just look at the damage output, Mephisto himself at 55,000, Hanzo at 57k. And this is game. This is game. Half the, like 80% of the game looked like the fan club would be in for another easy victory and a 2-0 lead in the best of 5. But now we are on an even score as the Vikings take the W on Volskaya Foundry. Nicely played by them. GG and well played as the Vikings lock in the victory. Game number 3. Yes, the series is tied, which is a bit crazy if you consider how game number 2 started off. So yeah, Fanclub was massively ahead. The Vikings turned it around, so it was actually quite interesting how they made that happen. At this point, we currently have on the left side the Vikings with Mako on Gul'dan, Max Passion on ETC, Burger aka Backhult on Johanna, Skok on Oriel, and Gia on Hanzo. And on the right side of the map, hanging on Malfurion. Seems like the team is getting a bit more aggressive now with Tai on Kerrigan, Svampgarota on Jaina for the Fanclub, Lulba on Diablo, and Copenhagen on Leoric. The money picks are riding in battle, and off we go. At this point, let's have a bit of a look of how exactly this is going to pan out, especially since we have Make again on the mage. Gul'dan, great for the map, of course. I assume that his Mephisto this time got banned out against him. The combo with Oriel is also a nice one, so I like that. Down to the bottom of the map, our double setup at this point with Jaina for the burst damage and Tai on Kerrigan for the stuns. Really nice roaming combo. Especially with Malfurion as a potential follow-up. I mean, there's a lot of lockdown that you have, and we're not even accounting for Diablo at the front, who can of course engage. Yeah, like this for example, exactly. Without the Iron Skin, that would be a problem for Johanna. I'm actually a bit surprised that we don't see Hold Your Ground, given all the CC and the lockdown that we have there. Having a bit more of an uptime on Iron Skin with all of that CC that you will be facing off against would have probably been nice here. I mean, Loss of Hope is great, don't get me wrong. It's a great talent to take. And there's always debates about like which one is better, but obviously both of them can be incredibly powerful and are good picks. But in this case, I kind of thought that he would go for Hold Your Ground. But anyways, it takes also a little bit of pressure off the healer, and that is obviously nice too. But right now, the aggression against Johanna is definitely there, and you can tell that Backhult is already feeling the heat here a bit. Rights out of harm's way with the money pick, so that is always super nice. We currently have top side, ETC sitting on the off lane, which of course means that we're going to see stage dive from him. Off lane ETC, nothing really too crazy. Ah, there's a lockdown again. And Iron Skin saves the day for Johanna once more. Needs to be super careful. They actually still try to fight for the camp here. And with Iron Skin on cooldown, that's a huge risk for Jojo. So yeah, they're not moving in. And they actually let the camp go. And that's something that the fan club in the past has always done pretty well. Just rotating around the camps to get a lead in experience and also lane pressure. They're slightly behind now though. Have still missed out on a bit of the experience that they have to gather later. Ooh, nice setup here against Gul'dan and Make. Make is down. Easy kill against him. Well played. Nicely done. So, with this, there's now the rotation towards the top again, or actually towards the middle. They have to still deal with that Khazra camp that was taken previously by the Vikings. Shrine is also about to activate. Svampgarota in need of a little bit of mana. And Skok down here is firing away on Oriel. Yeah? One could say that Skok has high hopes of clearing the lane here, with everybody looking for the first objective and of course the first Punisher. There's also still the camps and the shamans that you want to grab for the top lane pressure while all of this is coming in. The interesting part is that the blue team actually doesn't really go for it. So the blue team currently does not really go for that, but instead the red team has a big push coming through the top lane, pretty much solo. So the longer this fight lasts, the better for the red team. I mean, outside of the fact that you of course want to win the objective itself, but if you at least can draw it out, then even a loss on the Punisher wouldn't be a total disaster, since you can assume that the top shaman camp is getting something done for you. So timing your camps around an objective is always crucial in Heroes of the Storm, and should be the primary goal instead of just randomly taking camps. Now with Tai looking for setups. There's the stun setup. Tai did not connect it. And the root Max Passion makes it out. Incredible clutch play here as Max Passion gets away. That looked like a kill. They're still ahead though. 29 against 20 points on the objective. Another approach against ETC, but he survives. Jaina with a damage against Gul'dan, and they go for Johanna. Jojo nearly falling. ETC is slid up to the top because they already said, well, this one's over. Can't win this one anymore. Instead, it's all about trying to save the top lane. But the wall has mostly fallen and Leo moves in to deliver the final blow. Now, of course, it's bait time. They need to bait the Punisher over. It's a little bit tricky though because that wall is now already opening up. Karrigan could also still be there waiting for a jump and a follow-up, so you need to wait for Johanna. Skulk made the right play, but with them all low, it was a problem. And that means that there's a lot of value through the first objective for the fan club on this map now. They have 2 kills against 0. They opened up the wall at the top. They opened up the wall in the middle. So on a structural perspective, they're looking pretty okay. Nothing major has fallen yet, but still, it's a good start. Nice wall stun, and it's time to say goodbye. Oriel is down, and maybe even... Nah, not a second kill. For a second, they thought like maybe they could make the play for Johanna, but with Iron Skin still up, there wasn't really anything that they could realistically do. Maka is still trying to get a few more stacks together for his Echoed Corruption and connects a few. But there's an entire level lead now for the fan club, which also means an early level 10 if they continue that pace. Which would be pretty crazy. So, Lauber and Tai are now sitting tight at the bottom of the map. This is where all the CC comes from, and the follow-up from Henning and Svamgrotta is of course there for additional lockdown and damage. It's not only that Jaina provides the damage, Jaina obviously also has these slows that add even more CC to the equation. So it's a really dangerous position to be in. On the other side, you have still the tools with Iron Skin in particular that you can use. ETC has, of course, also the Face Melt that can keep the opponent at bay a little bit, which he now used multiple times to make sure that Diablo is not going to get anything done. But now that we have Maelstrom up, there's also Apocalypse with Heroics coming in. ETC still has no stage dive access, which means that he is actually locked in on the top lane for now and can't really help out the rest of the team. But it doesn't seem like the fan club can get anything done here, because the Vikings, after the opponent hit level 10, started to play it incredibly safe. They just stayed as far back as they possibly could and just said, like, guys, let's not overact here, let's just stay back and make sure that we're not making any big moves. You can already tell us from Grotta is in position, he's currently waiting this out, Karrigan is looking to see if she can maybe jump on someone, but in just a few seconds, we're gonna have heroic abilities for the Vikings too. And there is still a level lead, that hasn't changed. But at least there's nothing that the Vikings lost because of the opponent's level 10. And that was actually a really disciplined position that they took there. Could have also been that the fan club moves into the middle of the map, for example, as a 5-man and tries to drop the fort here, which they decided not to. They were hoping for rotation. But now Stage Dive should actually come in. He's still hesitating, so in theory we could also see Mosh Pit. The first thing that we see though is him getting completely screwed, or so I thought, and then Maka made the play like a boss, and instead it's Karrigan who falls. Fantastic Horrify from Gul'dan, saving the day for Max Passion. He has no right to be alive there, but they get 2 kills. So that looked like a clean opening and a fantastic gank against ETC. And honestly, if you would have paused the game the second that, well, Leo used the Entomb, I would have bet pretty much all the money that I had on this being a kill. But then Maka with a perfect Horrify and the big boy save, allowing the hero to survive for a bit longer, and then they kill 2 heroes in the process. So nicely done here. Now, there's of course still the fight at the top that has to be figured in. And right now, we have everybody starting to focus straight up onto objective number 2. And here we go. 3 kills against 2. Rogue abilities are all back up again in just a few seconds for the blue team. On the red team side, we're still missing, of course, Horrify and a little bit more. But off we go. Hanzo also, by the way, with the arrow earlier. So that's another thing that we should point out, not only the Horrify. But we're off to the race now. 25 against 15. It's a little bit quicker on the minions for the Vikings. And they still are lacking the position on the shrine. I mean, at this point, the Fanclub has pretty much taken that spot and has taken the control over it. And moving into it is difficult, but they're still doing it. 28 against 29. Here's the attack. There's the aggression. Maelstrom is used, and Carrigan jumps in. Horrify. The arrow misses completely. Narrowly missing everybody, and then the kill against ETC. This time they finally get it, and with the lockdown they can drop Johanna too, and they have the objective. So now all of a sudden there's the momentum that the Fanclub has been waiting for. They grab level 13 in the process, which gives them even more of an aggressive push here up at the top lane. And the blue team doesn't even try to fight for the fort, and why would they? They know that there's nothing that they can do here. And Oriel didn't even go for the Resurrect. She couldn't do anything. I mean, there was no chance for her to actually get a Resurrect off while all of this was happening. And the heroes just were annihilated on the way back, so no chance to do anything with the ult. Therefore, keeping the cooldown safe. Fort at the top lane has fallen, and you might have guessed it, the one in the middle of the map is also going to fall. Leo is, meantime, pushing the bot lane out so they can rotate over. Maybe not take this one down, but they should be able to take the fountain apart if they focus on it. And they're also stealing a couple of camps away. Khazra camp is taken. The Fanclub is just running the momentum right now. I mean, they really do. They're like bowling ball that is just pushing pins apart, and it can't be stopped. Can't stop, won't stop. But it's 13 versus 13, so maybe there's a shimmer of hope on the horizon for the Vikings, as they have at least even talents. That could help them here. Carrigan with the Chrysalis can dodge out on some of that damage, and some of that CC that also comes from the opponent's side. Nothing more satisfying than when you dodge like on purpose out on a Horrify, for example. So now 2 against 5. And, well, the push at the top. Enhanced. They're trying to actually trap here. I guess Copenhagen is already sitting tight, but Make is not falling for that shit. Make has too much experience on the competitive side, as that he was just simply move into that bush. But he doesn't have enough experience to dodge it out completely, because they just decided, hey, if you're not coming to us, we're gonna come to you. And so they just come in from the top. They have the slows with the water elemental. They have also the entomb, and they get the kill against him regardless. Nicely done. At first they were setting a trap. He didn't fall for the trap, and they were just like, well, we could just gank you. That might be another approach onto this. That's pretty much what we're seeing there. So now 16 talents are soon going to be ready. That's a 2-level lead, by the way. Yeah, I feel at this point the Vikings have the Fanclub exactly where they want them to be. It's time for a comeback. Now, maybe we're not there yet. They haven't made a move for Core yet. But of course, that's the one thing that you have to keep in mind a bit after what we've seen on Volskaya Foundry. You need to be a little bit careful there. Vikings were dominated throughout most of the second map. And then towards the end, they won 2 team fights, and that turned the entire game on its head and ended the game favorably for them. So we'll see how it turns out this time. We have also on Leo none of these auto attack shenanigans with Mithril Mace or any of that, but instead a traditional setup, Royal Focus, and after the ominous Wraith for the damage reduction. And those 16 talents, if they can fight for another Protector or Punisher around that, that would be great. Carrigan is already protecting this up here at the top. That little rascal. And here we have it. Shrine announced. Should give them enough time to lock that in, or at least get a massive lead. There's a 5-man that is hoping for a gank, which is not going to happen. Henning! 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 No! Oh my god! Dude! The face check and they kill. Malfurion gets wrecked. It keeps happening. It keeps happening. The team is massively ahead, and then they just think they can't lose anymore, and all of a sudden they sneak in these mistakes, they get a little bit greedy, and then shit like this happens. So now all of a sudden we have a 5 versus 4. Red team reacts, they don't even fight for the shrine now, instead they're actually pushing the lanes. Leo is opening up the top lane completely. If nobody goes back to deal with this, he's gonna get keep. I don't know what's happening here. Nobody is trying to deal with that fucker. Leo is gonna get the keep if this continues. I mean, hello, sir. Okay, there we go. And that keep is in trouble. This is eating way more damage than it should. Now, ETC is coming in and saying, like, okay, boys, I'm going to try and deal with this. But that keep is down to 50% HP. That's a problem. No matter how the rest here ends. But that is an issue. Now, there's of course still the Punisher that now moves to the middle of the map, but Leo is still firing away, and Max Pashes are like, team, team, team. And finally, Gul'dan is moving in. Maka says, okay, I got it, I'll help him out a little bit. But that keep has taken a beating. They might get Leo, but who cares? I mean, he's just got a ghost back. Yeah, and they are starting to gank him, which also means that over here it's an easy defense, so they trade Leoric for, first of all, a massive amount of hit points at the keep, but they also have an easier defense now in the middle against the Punisher, and they get the bot lane. I count that a win. I mean, I really count that a win. That is a pretty solid setup. Easy defense against the Punisher. You get a fort. You get nearly a keep at the top. Yeah, but you might lose Kerrigan. Chrysalis, Horrify. Yeah, there's a kill. Okay. Yeah, they're a little bit too late. Lauber? What was that? That was an interesting apocalypse if I've ever seen one. Someone fat-fingered his R button. Okay, they're still on the run here, and it's party time! ETC, God, look at these Diablo moves. What a boy. But now, the blue team might still be in a bit of trouble. This is a 5 versus 4, by the way. This is a 5 versus 4. The ghost is ghosting in, and it's burger time. Johanna goes down. That's a kill against her. They need to defend this too. 7 kills against 5, but what a weird game all of a sudden. There's so many uncharacteristic moves at this point. 37,000 damage from Hanzo. Lauber and his boys are starting to move to the top. Lauber apparently baby raging. I want that keep. And we have 35,000 damage for Jaina. Yeah, it's still a 4 versus 4, but they're trying to make the play here. Of course, the blue team is saying like, hello. You're still going to defend this. I'm not quite sure what you guys think where you are, but this top lane is not going to go down that easily. You might get it eventually, but not on my watch. Now with level 20 talents, though, Storm talents, there's a good chance for the red team to fight for something here. Henning is already... Dude, no more face checks. No more face checks. He's staying with the rest of the team here. But of course, that one lockdown against him with that Chinese bush trap that we saw from the Vikings. Yeah, that backfired very quickly against the team. That was a huge problem. Losing him there just shut down any hopes of grabbing the Punisher. But again, with level 20, they can move in now, and that keep should fall. Gul'dan is at the bottom of the map. It's all about the experience right now. Get the experience, make the plays, but the keep is down and buried alive. And ETC is dead. They even used the Malfurion ult for it, because after Gia stunned them with Hanzo's arrow, there was a chance that ETC actually gets away. And they're like, nope, not happening. Not my watch. So instead, we're still seeing them rotate. And Jojo. Run, money pig, run! Piggity, 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 piggity. And... is he gonna get away? The chase is on! Yeah! What? They didn't see him! Now they have him finally! Oh, they get the interrupt, but they actually don't see that he's there. And now finally he moves in division. And that's a kill. That's a staggered death. That's a 50 second discrepancy between ETC dying and Johanna falling. And the shrine? I don't know what to tell you. This is an easy Punisher. This is an easy one right there. So, yep. This one's gonna get taken for sure. And let's go. Over here. Copenhagen. Swing. Mace to the face, baby. Getting the big lead on this one. Lauber. There's already Laubering around in the mid lane. Bottom gets already a little bit pushed. We have Kerrigan doing her thing, and they're timing the camps too. It is time for the Arcane Punisher. All those nasty, nasty Arcane sentries. Everybody that ever played Diablo 3 hardcore knows how annoying those things are. If you've never lost a hardcore character to an Arcane sentry, then you have zero appreciation of how annoying these things are. So now with a push to the bottom, we have camp pressure, we have Punisher pressure, and there's the full team. But it's at least Storm Talents versus Storm Talents. That's the saving grace for the Vikings. Can they this time save their core and turn it around? They made it happen in game number 2. Can it happen again in game number 3? That's the question now. Or will this be the lead for the Fanclub? Wall's done, buried alive, and the ult from Gul'dan is too late. That's a kill. There's of course still a mosh pit to be considered though, and that's the counter kill against Karrigan. That's something. And a resurrect on ETC is going to bring him back to life. And he still has the real mosh pit up. And the defense is there again. Now top keep is down, bottom keep has fallen, mid keep has taken some serious damage as Maka moves in to drop those camps. But they are with the back to the wall now. They definitely are. 10 kills against 6, but the game isn't over. And this late in the game, as those death timers just continue to rise, you always have to ask yourself, well, I guess they're maxed out now. You always have to ask yourself, what happens if we get wiped again? There must be this tiny slither of doubt in the back of your head after you lost game number 2 that says, what if it happens again? It's a best of 5 again, so it doesn't really matter too much at this point. There's still the chance to always come back if you fall behind for both of the teams though. But the big advantage goes to the team in red. I mean, they haven't lost a fort yet. They haven't lost a single fort right now. So, yep, that is a big problem. In comes the aggression against the fountain at least. So let's take that down. Next objective, by the way, is top lane, which means that the bottom of the map is going to push massively. So if they can, for example, get this camp again around the next objective, that would push the bot lane even harder and eventually lead to Catapults destroying the core. Because we're 20 minutes in, so we're getting into Winian territory slowly. Bullseye, by the way, connected here. And everybody's starting to... I mean, they have to send someone down already. I was talking about the next objective. But they can't just simply sit in the mid lane and ignore the bottom of the map. Those catapults will eventually do work. But here comes the fight. ETC was apparently thinking about getting back to base, but that isn't happening. So the catapults, 2 of them, are going to lock onto that core in just a second. Yeah, shields are falling. Gul'dan is on the way though, so there we go. Yep, he's going to defend this for the time being. And nobody is really pushing in too aggressively. So we have 10 kills against 6, and you can really tell that both of the teams are a little bit more cautious. Previously, you always try to play around the advantage, right? So you kill an opponent's hero, you go for the camps, you're going to try and force a fight while they're still down 1 player. You have a talent advantage, you want to force those fights too. But in this case, it's really not all that advantageous for the Fanclub to force a fight, because this is literally the only way that the Vikings can come back into the game, by winning a fight. So for the Fanclub, playing the long game, letting the timer rise a little bit, letting those catapults scale into the late game, waiting for the next objective, is a way more advantageous situation. And Karrigan has now taken also the camp at the bottom of the map, as already suggested. Could have maybe even timed it a little bit more. But here comes the battle and bot lane pressures. Top shrine has been announced. Fanclub could still play this slow, and indeed at this point they do. And let's not forget that, of course, the blue team has to defend the bot lane now. Whereas the Fanclub can, without a problem, rotate towards the top. Once that they have a clear path here, they can rotate towards the top and make it happen. And you look at the top lane, and there's a massive push with catapults coming from the top. Oh, Gul'dan is down. Karrigan moves in. And guys, they're going to get even more, don't they? Here comes the Apocalypse play, a stun against Johanna. Catapults are already wrecking the shield on the left team's core. Max Passion is low, everybody's low. They're just trying to get away here. Resurrect brought Gul'dan back. But yep, with more catapults homing in, that's 3 catapults, that is 4 or 5 catapults on the core, and they are losing mad hit points here. Johanna falls at the same time as the chase is still on. Now they go for ETC, and the cow is about to go down. The core is at 59%. There's the party marsh down here. More catapults are in. They're down to 52%. This is pretty much backdoor territory that we talk about now. Karrigan is trying to get the camp together with the rest of the team, stealing it away. And we have Malfurion and Leo both at the top lane right now saying, okay, let's go for the objective here. All that the red team has to do right now is not die. Get the Punisher and don't die. 50% on the core, that is indefensible. You cannot make that defense happen if your opponent grabs the objective. Not 23 minutes in. Not with catapults already pushing to the bottom of the map on top of it too. So everybody is just trying to go for the objective. They have 29. There's just no way to deal with that. 20 seconds on ETC. And that is just way too nasty. This should be a home run at this point. There's no way they lose this right now. I mean, how do you defend this? You have a 5 versus 5, but they need to pay attention to the bottom of the map. There's already aggression in the middle instead of just solely focusing onto the top lane. I really like the way that the Fanclub is playing this right now. They're splitting this a little bit more. Kerrigan is trying to get catapults controlled towards the bot lane. They can also jump into the bottom, but they have to be careful with the approach at the top here. So they're already starting to move in. The bait in the middle is happening. Kerrigan is escorting the catapults bot lane into towards the core. So that's already happening as well. Here comes the Apocalypse, and they, oh my god, that buried alive. Haha, the Punisher jumps in as well. That's 4 heroes down. If there was a doubt who's going to win this game, then at this point it has evaporated. That is game, ladies and gentlemen. And a lead for the Fanclub in the best of 5 series. GG and well played as the Fanclub takes the victory in Infernal Shrines. Game number 4. Yeah, the series is spicy. We have the lead for the Fanclub. So they've finally done it. They secured themselves another victory in the 3rd game on Infernal Shrines. Now we're looking at Battlefield of Eternity. And on the left side, Max Passion on Thrall. I actually think he lost his passion a little bit because he hasn't been silenced in a while. So where is all that passion that shines through in chat? Then Backhult on Garrosh, we have Skok on Imperius, Make again on Liming, usually a first pick for them on this map, Gia on Malfurion, and over to the right side for the red team, the Fanclub, with Copenhagen on Chen, Tai on Sylvanas, Henning on Ana, Svampgrotta on Chromie, and Lauber on ETC. Let's go! Time to shine, baby! So, Trolling Thunder for Thrall as the level 1 talent. I mean, obviously, it has been buffed just previously, and is actually for a solo lane talent now quite solid. Yeah, I could have totally seen Imperius rotate topside and allow Thrall to join the 4-man to go into a Crash Lightning setup. That would have probably been something that Thrall himself would have preferred, because let's face it, as trash Lightning oftentimes is, when you are actually in a position where it makes sense to pick it, it can be incredibly fun to poke your opponent to death. So yeah, there's that. But with that, we have now topside already our little 1 versus 1 setup. I would still expect the Frostwolf Pact on level 4 to be picked. And against Chen, you should be able to get some easy stacks in, of course. There's a lot of CC now for the team in blue. I actually like that. I really feel with everything that they offer now, it just depends on Muck and how well he connects his combos. And he could do some insane damage here. Some absolutely insane damage. Bot side, Skok is already on point. And sliding into that is going to be dangerous. Svampgrotta is trying to get a couple of hits connected with Chromie now too. Gets actually a few in here. And is working, of course, on the level 1 quest. ETC in the attempt. It gets just thrown out. Flips in. Oh, that fight. And the kill against Imperius. Nice. The rotation from Chen down to the bottom of the map was worth gold. That was a perfect timing. Chen rotates down, Thrall isn't there just yet, 5 versus 4, and good night, Sweet Prince, as Imperius and Garrosh both die. Very, very well done here. Fantastic rotation, and it just shows once again all the experience that comes with it, of course. But, as it stands, they're not looking at the first objective just yet. So there's a lead now for the red team, which allows them to grab an earlier level 4 talent. And they still have to make sure that they're getting the objective here too. So objective should be announced any second. Top side we have also Thrall, still connecting a couple of Frostwolves, but he doesn't have a level 4 talent yet, so we can't see if he goes into the Frostwolf pack. Also, besides that, we still see camps taken, especially the red team has of course used all the freedom that they had to move over to the Shaman camp to grab it a bit early. Blue team is doing the same thing right now in an attempt to prepare for the objective. Level 4 talents on both sides. And, well, for now, Indomitable on Garrosh, standard talent. No Frostwolf pack, no Mana Tide for Max Passion on level 4. And also, again, Marke with his personal pick here going into the Charged Blast again. Loves this talent, plays it a ton actually on Liming. One of the few players that really focuses on it. Oftentimes we see Triumphora take now. Dominance is still a very solid talent to take. I mean, the level 4 talent tier for Liming is just in general incredibly powerful, and you can really adjust a lot there. All of the times useful. Talking about useful, Swamp Grotta was saved by ETC there. Yeah, having him on your side was definitely useful too. But with the camps now pushing the lanes, it seems like, at least for the time being, the blue team has a bit of a shot at getting the halftime show connected for themselves. Yep, already moving in. Yes, by the way, no Vala, no Greymanes. We don't see an arrow build. We don't see Greyman with any kind of auto attack pressure. A lot of the heroes that you would usually see now are not in the game here. Oftentimes also, of course, banned. Hanzo isn't here either, which leaves us with a bit of a different setup. Nice done. Follow up. And is that a kill? Henning? Yeah, he's gonna die. Henning is down. Granny abuse right there. Ana down, and they win the halftime show. So they have pretty much every single advantage possible going for themselves. 4 versus 5. They can easily go for it. Broccoli gets pushed away by the Immortal, but they're gonna win this for sure. Only thing that the red team is gonna try and do is stop the bleeding, mitigate the damage of all of this a little bit by taking as many hit points down as they can to reduce the shield. And then they can decide to rotate towards the top lane. Right there. Off we go. Okay. Solid setup so far. With this, we have now Marke. Already starting to poke away a little bit. Gia is sitting at the side. Our little burger boy on the other hand. Well, Garrosh is not only here to flip burgers, he wants to flip players too. And who better to flip than the burger boy himself? Lauber on ETC is, in this case, the beefy frontliner for them. And the wall has already fallen. Alright. And nope. Again, just nope. ETC comes in and just shuts him down. So, oh, maybe. Nope. Still no. I mean, he's trying. This is our little frontline battle that we have between the two. But of course, while this is going on, the Immortal doesn't give a shit about anything else and just goes for structures. So that's a 4th eliminated. And thanks to that, we have a big lead now for the blue team. They win the objective. They have now also a very solid setup here against ETC. And maybe finally that kill that they... no. The kill that was so elusive previously, but they just can't lock him down. 2 kills against 1, Ancestral Wrath on level 7. Still great talent for Thrall. Again, we've seen approaches with a follow-through on this map, especially if you go into the Echo of Elements. The theory behind it is that if you play it properly, you get more damage in against the Immortal. I honestly think it's bullshit. If you're playing here, Ancestral Wrath is just simply too strong, period. It's like all this theory crafting goes out the window in the first real engagement with the opponent, and then you want to have your Ancestral Wrath. So all these follow-through attempts, even with the theoretical extra damage against the Immortal, is just crap. That's not what the hero is there for. On the other hand, that's exactly what Li Ming is for, a quick burst damage. And since they locked down Chromie this heavily, the little fake gnome has absolutely no chance and gets slapped away here easily. No party time for Chromie. Goes down, gets slapped into the face, and that's a dead fake dragon. And now with 2 kills against 2, there's the opening at the bottom of the map as they're starting to go for the second fort. They're already getting the lockdown against ETC, and they're forcing them back quickly. Down goes the second fort, and I don't know what to say, guys, but that, I mean, that pain train is hitting hard. 9.5, they're going to get level 10 too. It's just a bit too much for them to handle, apparently. They need a counter kill. And I'm honestly just asking myself, where is this going to come from? What the Fanclub needs is pretty much an Immortal and then using Sylvanas to push with it. But with level 10 missing, yeah. It's going to be difficult. I mean, I don't doubt for a second that they at least have the chance to take a few of these hit points down, don't get me wrong, but they should actually lose out on the second Immortal. And if that's the case, then, well, the blue team has a shot of getting a keep already. And that would be, of course, a huge advantage. So now that we have level 10 for both sides nearly, the halftime show has more or less flawlessly been won, and they have even a shot at getting more damage onto this thing, even before the opponent is ready to fight. There's level 10 for both sides now, but just look at the Immortal difference. It's massive. It's absolutely massive. Marke gets more damage connected. ETC has the Mosh Pit. Triple Panda for the side lane. And they're playing this a bit safe. They have to defend the top side, of course. But they should always be able to get someone in a position where... Oh my god, if that... Oh my god, Marke! He comes in. What a setup again. Bakul comes in, gets the flip. Maka says, thank you very much. It's Christmas, baby. Is it my birthday? Must be. Goes in, gets the kill. Now they drop Chromie again. Fake Dragon gets slapped around. That is a third kill. Lauber, you can run, baby, but you can't hide. And yep, that's a kill. Lauber goes down. I knew that Thrall had some beef with him. And that's the end of the Immortal now, of course, too. And just look at that shield. That's an 80% shield that we're talking about now. That beast's gonna hurt. They're gonna move to the top lane. And, well, they will open this up. Oh my god, no. Don't tell me they get the kill against Copenhagen. Oh, Triple Panda's there early. They're trying to force the fight, and he's not going to get anything done with it. So he used the cooldown to stay alive, but he won't be able to use it for the fight itself. So that's a big resource already burned before the battle starts, and that's not good news if you're trying to protect your keep. So in the range damage, here comes Lauber. He's going to look for that mosh pit, and, well, spoiler alert, but it doesn't really seem like he's going to be able to find it. Tranquility keeps them in play. There's the taunt, and Panda is about to go down. Sylvanas nearly fell too. Chromie again. I mean, this is Chromie abuse at this point. Honestly, this is like the third time that she dies. She dies, she spawns, and she dies again. This is pretty much all that's happening right now. And it seems like the Vikings, they're done with this shit. They're just simply moving in there saying, hey guys, we're kind of done. Let's make this a 10-minute game and go straight for map number 5. Because we're not going to lose the series. That ain't happening. But their timers are low. Oh, party time! That hurts! Oh, I can't watch. Li Ming down. And that's the end of Garrosh. Ouch! Now, that Immortal still does damage, but it's not going to drop the core by his own. Imperius is also dead, and they're trying to follow up for more. 71% on the core, but they're starting to make that max passion. He's just going for the core, isn't he? It's like, fuck it! Let's get a bit of damage in. Gets one hit connected, and then the time loop pulls him back. 63%. Hashtag worth it. Now we have 7 kills against 6 and nearly even experience again. But it was still a big hit against the opponents. And oh, Gia, look at him. Can't contain himself here. He's so happy about what they just accomplished that he just needs to dance. He has so much energy, you know. Good old Malfurion. He was always a bit of a party animal. Malfurion he's the guy that runs into the mosh pit just so that he has an excuse of dancing a little bit. That's pretty much what we're seeing from this guy. But, well, with top keep down, that means catapult pressure is going to be intense, since there is no... I mean, the fort is still here, which means that there's no counter pressure at all. That could become a problem... Well, in this case, it actually starts to become a problem for Chen himself. I was about to say, could become a problem for the blue team if they lose another hero here, but the fact of the matter is they don't. Okay. Choo-choo! Yep, a little pain train right now. Driving the damage home. Talking about damage, let's take a quick look at it while we prepare for the next objective. 20,000 damage for Chromie, 3 deaths on her, 18,000 for Li Ming, 17,000 for Thrall. Garrosh has less than Malfurion. That would worry me. If you're like a mighty orc, like a war chief all the way up at the front, and you have less damage than the tree, then yeah, then I don't know what's going on there, but that just seems wrong by all accounts. So I would be a little bit embarrassed if I'm Garrosh, and I would try to not tell anybody here. But again, we discovered his secret, so yeah. That campaign for War Chief is already lost. I can tell you that much. We're gonna expose him ruthlessly. The story that the mass orc media is not going to tell you. He got out-damaged by Malfurion. Fake news! Okay. 14 versus 14, no talent advantage. Top lane, again, real pressure with catapults. So they're taking all of this down now. Trying to make the plays here. Careful, bro. If Chromie hammers one of you guys into the ground, then you could end up on the receiving end of a big push from Laubers Fanclub. Let's not forget that Sylvanas component. Sylvanas is potentially a problem. If Sylv gets the pressure in with the Immortal, they could go through a lot of those without dropping any hit points on the Immortal itself. So it's still a bit of a poke war. But let's not forget that the blue team is actually also ahead on this one, so they're trying here. Well, there's our attack set up. Not so far. Half a level to 16, by the way. So time is working in favor of the blue team. They want the kill. Time loop. And Garrosh. Oh, he survives. Tranquility. He actually survives. And down here, they're going for Svamgrotta again. The turnaround against Imperius. And he is dead. Get wrecked, baby. Imperius is down and the fan club is pushing. Pushing heavily against the Immortal. 7 kills against 7. Top lane, that's something that they have to take care of eventually, but for now they still have enough time to push in the middle of the map for the halftime show, and they're going to win this one. And they want the staggered death. They want the additional kill. They want Garrosh. Garrosh! Hashtag not my war chief. No, 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 no. I'd rather vote for Bernie Sanders than for Garrosh. I don't know what to tell you guys there. Well, maybe not, but still. So, with that said, we still have the Immortal likely ending up in the hands of the fan club as they're just hammering the blue team's Immortal into the ground drive. And yeah, is that the comeback? I'm a little bit afraid. This entire series was just dictated by comebacks left and right. And now we have exactly that happening once more. This time the top lane is the target, which actually means that just taking the fort down would at least alleviate the damage or the pressure a little bit from the top lane side. Just getting the occasional catapult spawn by taking the fort down would be nice. So off to the race we go. 8 kills against 7. And the Vikings are just sitting there and it's just like, yeah, we kind of like, nah, no. You need a team fight. But yeah, there we have it. Vikings, they lose the fort within seconds, and just as I said, with Sylvanas, you always have so much more pressure whenever you win an objective like this. ETC is also making sure that nobody is sliding in from the side here, so he's playing this super safe with his boys. There we go, they poke it down as much as they can. Sylvanas comes in at the same time, is trying to get some damage in by herself now, whereas the rest of the team wants to break through the gate, of course, to get an open shot at whatever's behind it. Maybe lock another target in with a mosh pit. Just to name one example. But in an ideal world, they want to go for the keep, and they go. This is a great series so far. I mean, seriously, so many back and forth games here. They save the keep. Save the keep, but here's the setup. Max Passion is Max. He's alive. Oh no, ETC and Sylvanas are both down. How did that happen? Max Passion survived through all of it. He can say a big thank you to Gia, who kept him in play here. And also, again, Ancestral Wrath, ladies and gentlemen. Can't pull that shit off with follow-through, exactly. And now they're rushing through the top. It's 63% on the core. And what do? They go for the camp, and they're gonna try and push it. Off we go. No, it's keep time. Okay, no balls Vikings confirmed right here. No push for the core, there's no YOLO moment. Instead, they're going for the bottom keep. They're playing it safe right now. Better safe than sorry. Try and go for keep number 2. That's what they're currently trying to do here. They're level ahead. They get the early level 20 if they don't lose another team fight. And they know that as well. So instead, they're just moving away from this. And it's like, maybe another time. Maybe another time. Not today. 9 kills against 8, and the next Immortal is about to spawn. Red team can go straight up to the top to defend here again. They have to push this out, of course. And, well, let's see. Bot lane, that's currently where we have our little setup here. Over on the left side, there's currently the move for another camp, which means bot lane is heavily pressured. Heavily. Them opening the wall ensures that if the red team doesn't react, that keep is going to get destroyed. But the red team is already in position. But as long as they're holding the bot lane, you of course know what that means. It pretty much only means that the halftime show will go without a contest to the Vikings. And that's what they're trying to do now. So everybody is starting to jump in for this. Bot lane, Sylvanas and Chen are both in position. Here we go. Good damage against Skog from at least Chromie. Gets 2 connected. But the halftime show is nearly won. Marker is just flying away. This is why Li Ming is so great on this map. You always get value. Someone soaks the damage so that it doesn't hit the Immortal. Nice, you poke them down. They don't. The Immortal suffers. So either way, you win. And they of course play more for the long game here. You look at the minimap and top lane, bot lane get both pushed right now. Both of them are pressured. Time works in the Vikings' favor. Also because level 20, of course, is in reach. But with this push at the bottom of the map, this is eventually going to threaten the keep, especially since there is a catapult coming in right now. And the fan club is just poking here. They're just sitting tight and they're saying, like, guys, we need to find an angle. We need to wait for someone to step out of position so that we can punish them. But as time continues, there is a massive push coming in at the top with 3 catapults already. At the bottom of the map, as already announced, there's a catapult and a couple of those Khazras coming in. Over here, there's even now a setup against Lauber. Time loop and the kill attempt against Garrosh, but it's ETC that falls. Garrosh dies as well. It's a kill for the kill, but Sylvanas dies too. And guys, we have catapults on the core. 3 catapults on the core already. Oh, Imperius is down, but the shields on the core are falling. And the hit points on the bottom keep are falling as well. And level 20 is now so close. Catapults are pretty much all down here. But again, another one is already pushing in at the bottom of the map. As you can see, that keep is also suffering. And with all those heroes eliminated, the halftime show has already been won by the blue team. They have level 20 talents, of course, now as well, which gives them another massive, massive boost here. And if they get another objective with 19 minutes in, that's pretty much victory. It's not 100%, but it would be hard to defend. Red team would have to force a fight before the Immortal reaches anything. Oh, but maybe with the temporal loop you can make the play right now. They're trying to go for Ana as all of this happens. Max Passion! And they get the kill. It is unbelievable. They actually get the kill. And now Chen is trying to get another one in against Gia. Tranquility comes up and they can use it. Now they're trying to turn it around against the Panda. Make with calamity damage, and it's enough. They get it. The Panda is down. And Sylvanas just says, boys, distract them. I got this. Distract all of them. I'm on it already. Just buy me another hour, and I'm going to be done. 12 kills against 11. This series is insane. If the Vikings actually win this, then we're going into game number 5. Can you just imagine that? Now another quick shot. Sylvanas YOLOs out the ult, but they get the kill against Garrosh. The fan club. The blue team, they win the Immortal though. They finally get it. Garrosh or no Garrosh, it doesn't even matter. The Immortal is taken, but now they're just chasing more heroes. They're trying to get something done, and Make is still firing away. Make is looking for that Chromie. He's looking for that fake dragon. And this time he's not going to get anything done here. But that Immortal is now starting to pressure. And the keep is 100% going to fall. Oh my god, Henning is going to die. Henning is down. Lulba, no! The end of all Lulls as ETC is locked down by Malfurion. And that's another quick kill. And now they want more. They want Sylvanas again. And yeah, Ty is just speeding around like he's on crack, but it doesn't matter anymore. He's the little speedster here. He's the little Heroes of the Storm Flash at this point. But as you can see, this will be the end of it. The conclusion of game number 4 is a victory for the Vikings as they drop the core. We are headed into a 5th map between the two teams at the semifinal of the Masters Clash Qualifier. GG and well played. Game on! 5th game, ladies and gentlemen. Whoop whoop. We are going the full distance now. Gia on Oriel for the blue team. The Vikings with a double support, actually. We have Skog on Uther, Burger, aka Berghult on Mal'Ganis, Max Passion on Leo, and Make on Greymane. Double support Greymane with a double front line, and on the right side of the map we see Henning on Ana, Svamkrotta on Jaina, Ty on Vala, Copenhagen on Malthael, and Lauber on ETC. Arrow build, by the way, for Vala. Alright, that's actually quite a fair amount of damage, especially with Malthael in the mix as well. Gonna be quite interesting to see how they're going to deal with that double support setup on the other side. Now, Greymane has, of course, absolutely pop off here, but if Maki can do anything, then it's definitely carry the team. I want to see the calves on this boy, because he's just putting on the backpack every chance he gets, and then he's just carrying the team to victory here, with some well-deserved support, of course, and the rest of the team is always putting him in the position where he can exactly make these plays, which in and of itself is, of course, great. So let's see if they can do it again. For now, with the arrow build, Tai can definitely lock these bosses in. This is one of the cool things if you go for an arrow build here. You can just murder bosses. And since we have 2 on the map, there is a chance that they actually just race them down later. There's obviously also a couple of hybrid builds that you can go for if you're going into the hot pursuit, and then you still continue with the arrow build. And that's also quite powerful. But with the Greymane setup, there's a bit of a move towards the top to try and cheese some of these structures down. But in comes the Fanclub, and they're just saying, no, not happening, sorry. Auriel down, no hope for her. Whereas Tai at the bottom of the map is still going in good old cowgirl fashion, straight into the job, and takes the entire lane down. Another experienced globe comes in. A bit of a maze it. Let's connect by Max Passion. A little bit of a drain action, but yeah, Vala with that range damage is working her magic right now. So if we go, Henning and Copenhagen have taken the camp on the right side. On the left side, we see the same thing happening by Maka and Gia. And yep, around level 7, the teams are going to try and make their plays for the objective. I doubt that anybody is going to make a big move before level 7 Talon's Eye. Big hits already at the top lane, now that they're rotating in for that. Talking about rotations, there's a little bit of a nasty surprise. They're trying to go for it, and Vala is isolated.
Surprise, motherfucker.
No chance, and goodbye. Boom. Yep, Tai a little bit too aggressive here. Didn't really see that one coming, or at least didn't expect it. They also held back slightly, and they're all just jumping in to get the kill. So nicely done by them. Level 4 talents now on both sides. And with that, we have the continuation of the arrow build. We have in addition to that, of course, now also a bit of action here, especially from good old Leo, who wants the additional wave clear. He's most likely going to rotate very heavily around the lanes, trying to push them out and maybe even get a couple of structures here destroyed. Still only a kill against the kill. I mean, right now with the prisoners camp coming up, it's again, as I said, more so a question of when are the teams making a play for the objective. And on this map, at least on the European side, it's mostly around level 7. Before that, you're always a bit afraid that your opponent is just going to deny the objective to you, is going to slow you down, catches level 7 while all of that happens, and then has a talent advantage over you. So usually here, it's all a bit delayed and they're not making the move right away. But sometimes you see those aggressive stances regardless. The double support is going to be interesting. I mean, again, Uther has been played occasionally in a side lane position on Europe side. In North America, we've seen Uther in a main tank position quite frequently. But to be absolutely honest, in Europe, you can't really get away with this shit. We've seen Uther as a side laner now multiple times in Europe, and I think out of 6 or 7 games, he won a single one, if so. So the top teams usually don't even go for that strategy. It comes with a couple of advantages, there's no doubt about it. You have your stuns, you have that extra sustain. There's definitely a few tools in the arsenal of Uther that make him a decent replacement, but most of the time you want to have your full front line, which we're seeing now for the blue team too. But they're adding Uther still so that they have a double support setup. And I mean, in theory, they don't even have to go for the Divine Storm here. They could even go into Divine Shield and just empower Greymane so much more. But yeah, North America, it's the Wild West over there right now. Cho'Gall picks, Deathwing, Uther main tank, Uther side laner. We've seen pretty much everything over here. On the other hand, of course, we have Crystal Gaming who still pick Probius every now and then, so there's that, right? But level 7 talents on already, and well, with our level 7 talents in play, we have, for the time being, the double vault for Vala, which empowers her, of course, even more since she gets the second arrow connected. We're gonna try and keep a little bit of a tap on how many stacks she gets there, but of course, with that UI that Blizzard has, it's unfortunately nearly impossible to follow quest talents unless you're willing to obstruct nearly half the screen, which in most cases I'm actually not willing to do. But with Leo now at the bottom of the map, he's doing exactly what I mentioned earlier. He uses level 4 talent to push these lanes out more aggressively. Bot lane has therefore already pushed into towers, and he's working on the middle now. And that forces the rotation from Malthael. Teams more on the defensive, nobody really going aggressively for the opponent's prisoner camp just yet. So we'll see. I have no idea who got imprisoned there, but no matter who these guys are, they seem to be some really, really annoying assholes. Because nobody's really fighting for them. Red team is just sitting there, is like, well, saving that guy? Nah, I don't have to. And the blue team is thinking the exact same thing. So apparently they deserve it. There's no presidential pardon over here. Gia, then again, he might actually try and help out a little bit. Okay, Whip Girl is trying to get some action going here. Level 10 abilities. Can we get those heroics in to spice it up a little bit? Gia is already getting eager. You can just see him dancing around there. Yeah, he wants to go for the whip. He wants to go for the whip, and I don't blame him. Yeah, he doesn't only want to spice it up in the bedroom. No, Oriel wants to spice it up in the game as well. Always ready for it. Yeah, just that little bit of pain right there. Marke, on the other hand, he wants to go for the boss. And, well, that's the moment when at least Vala could also help out. If they are making their move to the top and they see that. With Monster Hunter on level 1, you can get a lot of stuff done there. But as it happens, they actually don't know anything that's going on. They might finally start to figure it out, but Oriel and Greymane are nearly done with this. And honestly, at this point, you have to ask yourself, when exactly does the red team realize that 2 heroes are missing? It's a little mind-blowing to me that they haven't realized that yet. Because there's no other camp on the lane. They're gonna take that boss for free. Yeah, that's a freebie. We saw that, by the way. Yeah, that's a stun. Boss is taken. Well, we could see a kill against Mal'Ganis though, and yes, he's dead. Oh my god, they're gonna get more, aren't they? Yep. Uther is down too. He indeed went for the Divine Shield to empower Greymane, but now they go for the objective. But the boss has still been taken. So the boss at the top lane needs to be taken apart, and that's what Malthael is currently trying. Tormented Souls can be pretty sick if you have an Ana with a nano boost in there. It's usually not really the go-to talent for Malthael anymore, but a nano-boosted Malthael with Tormented Souls can rip an opponent's backline absolutely apart if there aren't too many stuns and CCs. Now, there is of course Uther now, who has a stun that he can supply, and there's a few more tools that they have as well. Once that we have the inevitable end, then Malthael is going to have a bit more freedom with that. But generally speaking, it can be incredibly powerful. I mean, there's usually not such a thing like counter picks. Anybody that tries to tell you that there's like rock, paper, scissor approaches in Heroes of the Storm doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. And so, yeah, don't believe people that try and claim that bullshit. But when it comes to drafting and entire team composition, it's a bit of a different story. So you're not going to see one hero counter another completely and hard counter something. But there's definitely such a thing like team compositions going very strong against a certain composition on the other side. And especially if there's nothing really to deal with Malthael, if you have a nano-boosted Tormented Souls Malthael in your backline and you don't have any CC there that can deal with it, he can absolutely rip you to shreds. So here we have at least a few tools available that they can play around. But I'm just trying to emphasize again that it is actually, or it can be, very, very scary. As it happens, level 13 talents are currently about to be ready for the red team, and they can make that happen. Yeah, Raider's already destroying the fort in the middle. Top lane has taken some damage. Not only the wall has been destroyed, but also the fort has taken a bit of damage there. Malthael is now taking position again. I mean, they're not aggressively pushing anything with like 4 heroes or something. They got enough damage to the first Raiders. You don't usually get a lot more than that from the first wave. Obviously, these things scale into the late game as well. So at the beginning, they're going to be very happy with what they just got here. That, on the other hand, is a bit of a ballsy move. I mean, they do it on the plain side of the opponent. Now, this is where Monster Hunter is really helping out. And Vala can, of course, now also vault, which also has the problem that it takes one of the potential escape tools away from her. But they have their cooldowns ready, and that's a big deal. Leo's now coming in too, though, so that makes it a 5 versus 5. Level 13 talents are here for both. And off we go. Yes! And there we have it. Oh, Malthael nano boosted on the point. Strafe is being used as well. Greymane tries to take them down. Lauber comes in, pushes them back. Vala the first one to die. Marke emphasizing this, but the boss is taken as ETC goes for the slide. Gia is about to be taken down too. And this is not going to end well for the blue team. Yes, 1 kill in, 2nd kill in. Malthael is getting some mad damage out, and that nano boost was just absolutely on point. Big fight for the boss, and they claim it. Red team has it right now, 5 kills against 2. And just like that, we're going to see another fort destroyed at the bottom of the map. And on this final map of the best of 5, the Fanclub is starting to do some really, really solid damage against the Vikings. Fanclub on the push, have a level lead over the opponent, but they're also about to lose a couple of heroes here. Ana is down. Uther joins the club of the stunned heroes. Stunned by bosses, I mean. Vala is already keeping herself busy at the camp towards the top right, and Malthael has already a long time ago translated his position, transition to the top lane. I mean, he's translating maybe a couple of things as well. He has a hoodie and maybe also glasses. He's a scholar, you know. So maybe he's translating things as well. But he transitioned towards the top side to get more pressure against the fort and also get more experience for him in his team. And by now, they have this one down to less than 50% HP. But it's obviously another objective on the map that can be fought over. Talents are all back with the exception of ETCs. The nano-boosted Malthael combo can come into play again. But of course, you don't want to use it on your side. You want to pressure the opponent and then really force them into a fight. Yeah, talking about forcing things. This wave forced into the fort is going to do serious damage towards the structure. And there's nobody to actually soak the experience there either, because they're trying to make the play for this one. Already starting to go straight in for that. And off we go. Lauber and his boys have the lead, and they have level 16. So fighting into them is difficult, if not impossible, for the blue team now. The Vikings are in serious trouble here. They have to try and see if they can maybe find an opening, if they can get the experience to 16 so they can still fight over it. There's another 20 seconds before the Raiders are unleashed. But if those Raiders make it through too, then slowly but steadily we're going to talk about keeps. And that is problematic on a big map like this. 16 versus 16, here we are. That's a double stun for Uther too, as he has Benediction now. The Royal Focus setup is ready for Leoric. That's another big asset to have in a fight like this. And they're already starting to make their plays now. Of course, once again, the hits against, well, Leo in particular. Max Passion is all the way up at the front, and Kopenhagen takes the opportunity to drop him low. But the Fanclub is actually moving back for now. They're just dealing with everything else. They have Stromgotta pretty low. He needs to tap the fountain. So he oinks it down to the bottom and waits for the cooldown to come back up there. And it's 5 kills against 3 right now. And if you just look at the damage output, 25,000 on Jaina. Malthael, by the way, on the exact same damage numbers, pretty much. And only 11,000 for Greymane, Leo, and Uther. I mean, they haven't really gotten a whole lot of damage in during all of this. They've tried, but of course it's also very different damage output that we're looking at compared to the AoE that we see from the red team. They come in. Where's the mosh pit when you need it? Not here. Divine Shield, nano boosted, Malthael ult, but the kill against ETC. And they're trying to drop Malthael as quickly as they can. Max Passion is low. Oriel's heals. The double support on the blue team side is just giving them the sustain that they need, but they lose Leo regardless, and the fight isn't over. Here comes Vala. The strafe is in the whip against Malthael. Can they get the kill? Greymane! Yes! Greymane down. The big bad wolf is taken apart by the granny. Red Riding Hood is going to be happy here. And that's the kill. And topside is going to be the destruction of a fort that we're very likely going to witness too. So with 7 kills against 4 and more than a half-level lead, we have a fantastic spot now for the red team on the map. With one little caveat. They might have gotten the kills, but they lost the objective. So the Raiders are still there. Now, we might see them fall. They might have an easy time to defend them without Greymane being around, but it's still an objective that you missed out on. So that was the good thing for the Vikings, that they were able to get that. And there we have this. Let's see. It was actually kind of interesting too. I mean, Greymane nearly got the counter kill. At some point, when you have a hero like Greymane, or when you're on the retreat in general, and you realize, hey, I'm not going to make it out anyways, you want to turn it around and just see if you can get a quick counter kill here. We see that on the hero level and on the team level too, so you have always to be careful when you keep chasing someone, how deep you can go with it without exposing yourself too much to an opening. Yep, there's the nano-boosted Malthael again. Tormented Souls for the win in this case. And with the kill against Uther, they're just following up with the second kill. This time against Mal'Ganis. And yeah, they're pretty much crushing there. 9 kills against 4 and the big lead in experience now. But the top cavalry has now done work. So up at the top, we have the wall opened up. Cavalry's down now, so that's not really big deal. Greymane already pinging the bottom of the map. Mark is saying, boys, let's go. We need to take one of these bosses. They're going to take the other one no matter what. We need to at least get the one on the other side of the map. And this one gets, of course, hammered down. I mean, Tai has everything he needs here right now. With his entire setup here, especially looking, of course, at the level 1 talent, with the synergy on level 4, the double arrow thanks to 7, he is just murdering bosses and camps And on top of that, we also see him now with Manticore on level 16, which means once he has 20 in the Farflight Quiver, he can from a safe distance just shell the shit out of Mal'Ganis, out of Leo, and if Greymane at any point gets a little bit too feisty, he can drop him within seconds too, if he can just get a bit of support to hammer those auto attacks in. And, well, they are close to 20. One of the reasons why they're not getting more aggressive over here is that they're saying, why would we? We are so close to level 20 now. We have the advantage. We can then go for the objective. Why would we risk all of that and fight a fight on even talents when we don't have to? Let's go bot lane, let's defend against the boss, and let's take that level advantage that we have and the level 20 to play it safe here. And there's the Farflight Quiver. It's a great talent. Honestly, this combo is something that in A is now slowly starting to pick up on as well. But Manticore plus Farflight Quiver is just the death of any frontliner. If you have an auto attacker that knows what he's doing and can weave those auto attacks in, that has any mechanical skills whatsoever, you can do huge amounts of damage with it. And frontliners are going to pay the price on the opponent's side if they are just a step out of position. So now everybody going in right here. And yeah, blue team is already falling back. They need 20 at first. They need the level 20, and that's why they're splitting out on every single lane right now. Gain the experience, get it as quickly as you can. For good reason. They have 20 now. They, of course, suffered quite the lead on the side of the Fanclub now, but they can fight for it now. There is an advantage for the Fanclub, but it's 20 versus 20. Redemption is in, and Buried Alive is a huge threat now. Buried Alive is the big problem for the Fanclub. One good Buried Alive, one whip into the wall, and you could lose a hero here. And then the fight can turn against you. And this is why we see the aggression from the blue team. Every fort, with the exception of the one in the middle on the red team side, has been destroyed in this game. Every single one. There's not a lot left. And here comes the aggression. Lauber is already zoning up at the front. Guys, this is so close. It's game 5. 20 versus 20. And we have such great ults on both sides now that could decide this game in just a second. They grab the objective. They have to interrupt now. Once more, they're looking for the cavalry here. The Vikings, they want to crown the entire performance with a victory over the Fanclub, and that would be a big deal if they could move on to the grand final against Washed Up. But can they make it? Or is it going to be the Fanclub that advances? The poke is there. They reclaimed the prisoner camp control. 9 kills against 4. Nobody making a move just yet. Here comes Leo. Max Passion moving in, and he gets the Buried Alive against 2. They go for Vala, and the quick kill annihilated the mosh pit to lock them down, and it's all up to Malthael now. The kill against Oriel, one of the supports is already dust, and they go in for the kill against the number 2, trying to drop Uther. Malthael is moving away, Uther down, Ana dropped him, Redemption is up, so he's going to be back. Raymond is looking for another follow-up kill against Ana in particular, but Henning is already moving away as we're seeing the turnaround against Malthael, and the attempt to drop Jaina 2 in the mix. Once more the Vikings successful, going right in for another objective, another set of cavalries on the map. Top side, we have another big wave that gets annihilated, but the Vikings are absolutely murdering right now. 18 minutes in, and they do fantastic. 11 kills against 6. Leo moving into the mid lane, dealing with the camp, dealing with the entire minion wave, saying, okay boys, I got this one, and let's push together. And now they have to focus on one of the lanes, top lane or bot lane. Ooh, first of all, they have to get out of here. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Leo isn't here. Leo isn't here, neither is Vala, but Malthael is chasing them down hard. Malthael comes in, Ana has the nano boost, and Vala is all of a sudden arriving as well. There's too many slows. Strafe is in, the kill against Leo, the kill against Mal'Ganis, and the Fanclub is dropping them quickly. And now they go straight in for the cavalry. Yeah, with 2 kills, even if Oriel goes for 1 resurrect, which she does, the chances of the Vikings ending this are pretty slim all of a sudden. Yeah, well, especially if we're getting another kill. And there's already Malthael with his own ult. Divine Shield. Marke wants the kill. Ty got nano boosted here and is actually able to get away. He doesn't fall, and the slide against Uther might just grant them the kill against Skok. The cavalry is finally breaking through. Top keep is about to be attacked, but this is just turning into an endless brawl here. Cavalry in the middle gets annihilated. The top goes through the keep in just a few seconds if nobody takes care of it. Bot lane looks very similar. Big problem right now. That's armor shields that are falling. And the Vikings, of course, they want to go and push for game. They want to push for the win in the series. Top keep has fallen. Bottom keep has also fallen. That means on the core, they've lost now 2 of the armor shields. Big problem. Really big problem for the Vikings. For Laubers fan club. And as you can tell, already the blue team ready for the boss. Cavalry gets eliminated. And up at the top, they immediately go for boss. And they burn this down quickly. They won the victory right here, right now. 13 kills against 6 for the red team. But the blue team is about to make the big play on the map. And the fan club goes down to the bottom. They went for one lane. They just said, guys, we have to go, we have to go, we have to go. And they decided in favor of the bot lane, hoping that the blue team was there, and they chose the wrong boss. And now they have to face the music. They have to make one of these plays. They have to go either for the bot lane boss or the top lane boss and hope that they make the right choice. They made the wrong one. They were trying to force the fight. They were trying to interrupt it. They knew what the blue team was trying to do here. But it came too late, and now they have to face the boss and they have to face the team. And this defense is going to be absolutely maddening difficult. If it's possible at all. Yeah, but they burn the boss down very quickly. Vala with Monster Hunter and a completed level 4 quest is doing solid damage here. Damn, they have that down to 50% already. And the boss even stopping for that stun allows them to get more damage in. The stun against Malthael! And oh my god! He goes down. Malthael is dead, but nobody can stop death, baby. And the boss is down. That thing did nothing. And they just killed Leo. What the hell? They actually burned that down so quickly. We're 21 minutes into the game. And they got nothing with that boss. That's actually insane. What a defense here. Unbelievable. Yeah, now, while this is going on, guess what? The red team is saying, alright boys, our turn. Now it's our turn. Yeah, nobody can stop this. As a 5 versus 4, Leo is going to come back soon, but not quick enough to do anything about this. Vision was already granted as well. So now they can make the play here. At the same time, an objective is up on the map, so they are starting to also focus onto the prisoner camps again. Guys, this is insane. Game number 5 this year. What a semifinal. Seriously. What an insane semi. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, boss is already starting to move in. Yeah, Maka, he wants to be the one defending it, but that also means he's missing from the actual fight. Leo, you just came back, bro. Yeah, you have to be careful. You don't want to get the Loki trade value here the entire time. Damage output on the two teams. Just look at it, Malthael damage. Nano boosted Malthael is insane. 77,000 damage for him. Top damage in the game. Easily. I mean, Jaina is actually kind of close-ish with 74,000, but you compare it to, for example, Greymane's damage, that's a world of difference. As I said previously, very different damage types, of course, too. Especially if you can go into a full 5 versus 5, but yeah, solid setup here. Alright, the interrupt is there again. Bottom keep gets attacked. Top lane is pushing. 2 lanes are heavily pushing against the red team. The fan club, they are down to their last leg here. They need to make something happen. And this is pushing aggressively down at the bottom of the map, of course. Boss has been defended, but half of the HP is already missing on the keep, so there's a chance to lock that one down. Malthael is even moving over and saying, hey, as long as we are playing standoff, I'm just gonna go for camp. Just gonna go in for the camp. I'm gonna try and see if I can maybe eliminate that quickly to get the mid lane pushing a little bit more. The core, obviously, on this map is also regenerating hit points, so unless you really take it down, the minions are not gonna do it. And that's the big... honestly, that's the saving grace for the fan club right now. Because the core is already taking damage, but it will regenerate most of it again if nobody makes a move for it. It's taking a lot of damage though, but it's also defending against all of this, so the core should be fine, but it's getting close, as you can tell. The fight, on the other hand, is all of a sudden starting. There's the mosh pit with the immediate interrupt as Oriel cracks the whip, and they're making the play for Vala again. Vala got nano boosted once more just to get the siphoning arrow and everything out, but Vala down. Market dies too. Gets eliminated by Jaina here as the arrow is also coming in. Oriel is still looking for the resurrect, but so far she can't even get close to all of this. Instead, they're making the play for Malthael. Malthael is is jumping in. Leo is already dead. The core is on 9,000 hit points. And at the same time, the blue team is starting to lose even more heroes. They are 2 down already. Here comes the quick shield as Oriel pops the 20. But it seems like Uther is going to fall too. He tries to kill against Jaina, but can't get it. Uther eliminated, and the core is now recovering hit points as it's not being attacked anymore. Back to 16,000 already. Mid lane gets attacked, and of course the objective is absolutely wide open now. 17 kills against 8. There's still the chance to go for the Greymane Resurrect. Oriel is trying to move in for it. Of course they want to get Greymane back, but they also want to have the chance to maybe even go for a core here. They need to do something. Backdoor it would be one chance. Not really the best strategy, generally speaking, on all direct pass, but I mean, you want to throw a Hail Mary at some point, I guess. So now, middle of the map, it's gonna fall. Guys, this one's down. Keep is gonna fall. That's an armor point eliminated. Leo. Oh, he turns it around with a buried alive, but there's no follow-up. They're just moving away. Leo down, he gets trade value, and they are about to lose the objective. 10 seconds were missing from the blue team's attempt to grab the next set of the cavalry, but the raiders will come in very, very soon if nobody stops them. It doesn't seem possible anymore. Vala is now in as well. She's helping out, and she is murdering Mal'Ganis with the help of Jaina. Now once more, Malthael just trying to rip through them. Malthael jumping in, jumping out, but Kopenhagen gets taken down. The problem is Oriel falls as well. Oriel is down, and Tai is just dancing circles around the frontliners, weaving those auto attacks in. Without Greymane on Vala's throat, there's just nothing to do here. But Ana dies. Malthael comes back. They're fighting for every kill. Uther dies again. Redemption, my ass, baby. None for you anymore. Jaina is down too, though. And this brawl just doesn't stop. Too many resurrects, too many redemptions, too many heroes that can't even be stopped by death. Now we're looking at a 3 versus 3 on the map, and they're making the play again as the top and the bottom are pushing against the red team. Lauber's Fanclub is looking for another chance at the mosh pit. Lauber with a mosh pit and the kill against Greymane and Mal'Ganis. Holy shit, what a setup. The two immediately hearts back, and they're like, yep, nobody's gonna backdoor that right now. We need to protect that core. At least one needs to be there. The rest of the team already making a play for the camp, and they know that they can push now. What an insane setup. Holy cow. I mean, quite literally, holy cow. That ult on the cow was pretty fantastic. So, with the damage numbers, I mean, just look at it. 115,000 for Malthael, 95k for Vala, 103,000 for Jaina. The damage numbers are insane, and they need insane damage. They're going up against a double support, so of course they need it. But here comes the attack. And is this possible? Can you stop this? 27 minutes into this game, 28. There's only one keep down, only one armor shield, but everybody's moving in. Jaina isn't there yet. The other raiders are still far gone, and this one gets burned down quickly. Guys, it might not be over yet. It might actually not even be over yet. There's the buried alive, max passion, maximum dead if anything. And now the attack again. Malthael, nano boosted out of his mind, is coming in. Yep, the aspect of death on roids moves in, but those expire at some point too, and then he gets focused on and quickly destroyed. 12 kills against 24. What a game again. Oh, Bakul, he tries to push away. The rest of the raiders is coming in. Mal'Ganis. Oh, Vala every time with the approach here. And the core isn't down yet, and it starts to regenerate hit points again. Down here though, bam, another keep down. Guys, the armor shields are falling. There's no armor left on that boss in just a second, and Mal'Ganis is dead. Is that the moment? Can the Fanclub finally win this game here? Max Passion is back already. Max Passion is back to business. And now the Raiders are moving through the bottom of the map. Someone has to deal with this. Nobody's going for it. They're going to lose the game if they're not paying attention to that. Someone has to deal with it and has to deal with it now. Nobody does. At the same time, the fight is already raging on the right side, but to the left, Oriel is the only one trying to make the play. Muck it. It's too late. The game is over. The series is over. And we have the Fanclub taking victory in the best of 5 in the semi-final of the Masters Clash. They move on to face washed up in the grand final. GG and well played.